Most people are not broke because they earn too little. They're broke because they have no system. And here's the truth nobody wants to hear. You can make $80,000 a year and still be completely financially trapped. I know this because I've coached hundreds of people who were earning good money but hemorrhaging cash every single month without even realizing it. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how I helped someone pay off $10,000 in just 8 months, and more importantly, how you can copy this exact strategy starting tomorrow morning. My name is Franklin, and I don't do motivational fluff. I do practical systems that actually work. Let me introduce you to Sarah. Sarah was making $52,000 a year. Not rich, but definitely not poor. She had $10,000 spread across 3 credit cards, a car payment, and that constant feeling in her stomach every time she checked her bank account. You know that feeling, that quiet panic. She wasn't living large. She wasn't buying designer clothes or taking expensive vacations. She was just living normally. And that normal life was financially destroying her. This is where most people give up. They look at $10,000 in debt and think, I'll never get out of this. But here's what changed everything for Sarah, and what will change everything for you. She stopped trying to out-earn the problem and started managing what she already had. Month 1 was about brutal honesty. I sat down with Sarah and we did something most people are terrified to do. We tracked every single dollar for 30 days. Not guessing, not estimating, actually tracking. Spotify, Netflix, that coffee subscription she forgot about, DoorDash 3 times a week, the gym membership she hadn't used in 4 months. When we added it all up, Sarah was spending $847 every single month on things she didn't need, didn't use, or didn't even remember signing up for. That's over $10,000 a year disappearing into subscriptions and convenience. We canceled everything, all of it, cold turkey. And you know what happened? Her life didn't fall apart. She didn't lose friends. She just had $847 extra every single month. That became her weapon. Now, here's where discipline separates the dreamers from the doers. Sarah took that $847 and immediately split it into 3 buckets. $500 went directly to debt. Every month, no excuses, no negotiations. $200 went into a small emergency fund because unexpected expenses are not actually unexpected, they're just unplanned for. And $147 stayed flexible for life because financial discipline isn't about punishment, it's about control. This is the system. It's simple, it's not sexy, but it works repeatedly. Month 2, we attacked the smallest credit card first. $200 balance. This is called the debt snowball method, and it's psychologically powerful. Most financial experts will tell you to pay off the highest interest rate first. They're technically correct, but humans are not calculators. Humans need wins. Sarah paid off that $200 card in her 2nd month and called me crying. Not because $200 changed her life financially, but because for the first time in 3 years, she felt like she was winning. That emotion, that momentum, that's what carries you through the hard months. Let me explain something critical that most people miss. Debt is not just a math problem, it's an emotional prison. Every month you wake up owing someone money, you're psychologically renting your own life. You can't think clearly, you can't plan long term, you're constantly in reaction mode. Sarah described it perfectly. She said, I used to check my bank account and feel sick. Now I check it and feel powerful. That shift, that psychological transformation, that's what we're actually building here. By month 3, Sarah had paid off 2 of her 3 credit cards. The momentum was real. But here's where most people sabotage themselves. They start feeling good and they relax. They think, I deserve a reward, and that reward becomes a $300 dinner or a weekend trip or a new phone. And just like that, the progress stops. I told Sarah something I'm going to tell you right now. Your reward is not a purchase. Your reward is freedom. Keep going. Now let's talk about the income side, because paying off debt faster requires either spending less or earning more, and the smartest people do both. Sarah started a side hustle. Nothing crazy. She was a graphic designer, so she started taking freelance projects on weekends. 2 projects a month brought in an extra $800. That entire $800 went straight to debt. No splitting, no thinking, straight to the target. By month 5, she had paid off $7,200 of her original $10,000. She was more than halfway there, and the finish line was visible. Here's a question I want you to think about right now. Where are you watching this from? And more importantly, what's your current debt situation? Drop a comment below because I read every single one, and your story might help someone else realize they're not alone in this. Financial stress is isolating. It makes you feel like you're the only one struggling, but you're not. Millions of people are one emergency away from financial collapse, and the only difference between them and financial freedom is a plan and the discipline to execute it. Month 6 was interesting because this is where Sarah hit what I call the discipline wall. She was tired. The excitement had worn off. Paying off debt is not glamorous. It's repetitive, it's boring, and that's exactly why most people quit. But here's the truth. Boring is what builds wealth. Boring is what creates freedom. Flashy is what keeps you broke. I reminded Sarah of something that one of my mentors told me years ago when I was building my first business. He said, "Franklin, everyone wants the results, but nobody wants the process. The process is where you prove you're serious." Sarah kept going. By month 7, she had $1,400 left. That's it. She could taste the freedom. And here's what's beautiful about momentum. When you're this close, you find money you didn't know you had. She sold some old furniture. She picked up an extra freelance project. She skipped buying new clothes that month. Every dollar went to that final $1,400. And on day 23 of month 8, Sarah made her final payment. Zero balance. Completely debt-free. She sent me a screenshot with 3 words. "I did it." Now let me break down the exact strategy so you can copy this step by step. Week 1. Track every single expense. Use an app, use a notebook, I don't care. Just track it. You cannot fix what you cannot see. Week 2. Cancel every subscription and service you don't absolutely need. Be ruthless. Week 3. Create your 3 buckets: debt payment, emergency fund, and flexible living. Week 4. Commit to the smallest debt first and attack it with everything you've got. That's month 1. Repeat this system. Adjust the numbers to your income and watch what happens. If you're serious about transforming your financial life, this channel is built for people like you. People who are done with the stress, done with the panic, done with living paycheck to paycheck. Subscribe right now because every single week I release practical, no-nonsense strategies that actually work in the real world. Not theory, not motivation, systems. Let me tell you what happened to Sarah after she became debt-free. Within 3 months, she had saved $3,000. Within 6 months, she started investing. Within a year, she had more money in her savings account than she ever had in debt. And the best part? She told me her stress levels dropped so dramatically that she started sleeping better. Her relationships improved, and she stopped feeling like she was drowning every month. That's what financial freedom actually gives you. It's not about being rich, it's about being in control. Here's the part that nobody talks about. Paying off debt is just the beginning. Once you prove to yourself that you can be disciplined, that you can delay gratification, that you can execute a plan consistently for months, you unlock a completely different level of life. You stop being reactive and you start being strategic. You stop renting your life from creditors and you start building wealth for yourself. This is the transformation that changes everything. I want to be very clear about something. This strategy is not magic. It's not a shortcut. It's not going to make you a millionaire overnight, but it will give you something far more valuable: control. And control is the foundation of every single financial success story I've ever seen. You don't need to be smarter. You don't need a perfect job. You don't need luck. You just need a system and the discipline to follow it, even when it's boring, even when it's hard, even when nobody's watching. So here's my challenge to you. Pick one thing from this video and do it today. Not tomorrow. Today. Cancel one subscription. Track your expenses for 24 hours. Write down your total debt and stare at it until it makes you uncomfortable. Do something. Because financial transformation doesn't start with a perfect plan. It starts with one disciplined decision followed by another and another and another. Small actions, repeated consistently, create massive results. Sarah is not special. She didn't win the lottery. She didn't get a huge raise. She didn't inherit money. She just decided that 8 months of discipline was worth a lifetime of freedom. And she was right. You can do this. You absolutely can. The question is, will you? Will you commit to the process even when it's uncomfortable? Will you stay consistent even when progress feels slow? Will you choose discipline over instant gratification? If you found value in this video, do me a favor. Share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Comment below with your biggest financial goal for this year. And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? This is just the beginning. I have dozens of videos breaking down budgeting, investing, side hustles, financial psychology, and wealth-building strategies that actually work. Let's build financial freedom together, one disciplined decision at a time. I'll see you in the next one.